Hey guys, so today I wanted to make a video to show you how to change the charging port in the iPhone 4S. So to remove the back cover, what you will need to do is there's two screws here in the bottom, there and there. I already took them out, but there's two screws there that you have to take out, and then you can just slide this back cover forward on the bottom, lift up on the top part and then the bottom, and then it comes right out. So next we want to remove this charging flex cover here. This is the charging flex cable, and there's two screws right here and here, and you want to keep track of these screws because they're different sizes as well, so keep track of them where you put them. Next you want to take your spudger tool and pry up on the charging flex cable and just carefully peel it up like this and fold it over to the side like that. It has adhesive under it and it comes up pretty good. So first we will need to remove the battery connector. There's two screws right here. Now be careful, they are different size, so make sure to keep them separate accordingly. And also there's this little clip here that fastens in the one corner of the battery bracket. Make sure to remove that after you move the screws before you lose it. So next you will want to remove the battery connector. I have a spudger tool here. You just get under one corner, be very careful with this connector, and just pry it up like that. Bend it back. To change the speaker assembly, what you will want to do is, once you have everything apart at this point, there's this little cable right here for the antenna that you'll need to wiggle and pop loose, and then you have to feed it around. There's a connector, or not a connector, there's a thing there that you have to go around, and then you have to pull that wire out so you can get it out. And then next there's two Phillips screws, one in this corner and one in this corner, that you have to remove. And there's also, after you remove the screw, there's a little plastic triangle here. Make sure to save that. Here's the plastic triangle I was talking about. You want to take that out and set it off to the side. And then for the speaker assembly here, you can use anything to pry with. This plastic pry tool. Just pry anywhere and it pops right out. Like that. To change the charging port, what you need to do is there's this flex cable for the home button right here that you have to flip up this little connector part here and pop this out. And then there's the rubber part here of this antenna that you have to pop out of here. And then make sure that's loose. And then there's two screws, Phillips screws. There's one down in here and one down in here to remove. So then after you have removed the screws, then what you need to do to remove it is, it has adhesive under this part right here, so you have to pull up on this corner and just slide your pry tool under there, and we go back and forth, and the whole part pops out. Just like that. To reinstall the charging port, microphone, everything that's included in one, what you need to do is first move this flex cable out of the way for the home button. Then you can just set this right down in here. Make sure it's in the right place. And you can wait to put the screws back in if you want, if it'll stay there for you, okay? You can feed in the microphone. Make sure that this part is fastened down okay where the adhesive was. Just push down in this corner there with your finger. Then, since we know where our little short screws are here, we'll just install them right away. It really helps to have a magnetic tip screwdriver. If you don't have one, you'll be wishing you did. So next you will have to make sure that this cable gets seated in properly again. It's a little tricky sometimes to feed it in there properly. This is for the home button. So just showing you in real time that it can take a while sometimes. So once it's popped in, just make sure it's seated in there right. And then flip that little lever down that holds it there. And then, I guess we already did the microphone, so we're good to go there. Okay. To reinstall the speaker assembly, what you need to do is just set this in here. And you have to start this part in first, tip it that way, and then push down. Just make sure that none of these things along the here catch. Then what I would recommend is put this screw over in this corner in first. That way it holds it in place. This one. And then you can grab your little plastic triangle here with the tweezers. You have to turn it right and then set that in here. That's the little tricky one. You have to get that in the right place. And then you can go ahead and put this next screw in while making sure that stays in the right place. To reconnect the battery connector, just put that back down in place. Just like that, and it should just slip right down in. And then don't forget this little connector that you can slide in under here afterwards. And then sometimes it's a little bit tricky to get it in. And just get it facing kind of the right way. And then put your screws back in. To reconnect the charging port, just stick this back down. But first get the connector up here where you can put it in place, and then you can fasten that right down like that. And then you'll want to put this plate back on just like that, and then put your two screws back in. To put the back cover back on, all you need to do, set it down there just a little bit ahead of on the bottom. Make sure everything is down all the way around and slide it down till it matches up, and then put your two screws back in the bottom here. And you're all set. Thanks for watching.